I'm on the trail.
I'll see what I can find.
Of course, a fresh fool to replace the last fools. What brings you stomping through my workshop, eh? Straight to business, no nonsense. We appreciate that, don't we?
Anything for a breather from your endless yammering.
You would miss me if I were gone, Aimura. For who would tolerate your barbs and insults? But you come seeking the White Forge, like they all do. Boys with smooth cheeks and wild dreams. Girls with bright ribbons tied next to their scabbards. Old men and women, too, seeking a final blaze of glory before they're snuffed out for another turn at the wheel. Sound familiar? I have this conversation with every pig-headed swashbuckler those postonagos and stalwarts send. Go see Garvino, they say. Surely he'll help you.
Must have slipped their minds what a busy and important fellow you are.
I should have let them stone you. Would have silenced your endless rattling forever.
Then you'd have naught but those frostbitten inbreds for company.
The spiteful imbeciles destroyed my career, ruined years of work. But the villagers and their adventurers hammer and pry at the battery as if they were laying siege to some mold. But those stones were laid by some of the finest builders ever to have lived, disciples of Abidan in the truest sense. They will not fall by the whims of any kith. And the door itself, it is infused with living essence. With the secrets of the Pargrunen dwarves, of course. The Pargrunen of Durgan's battery perished within their own keep, victims of a violent disagreement among their own commandants. Surely in the village you have heard stories, no? Disappearing caravans, tracks in the snow, screams from the high towers. The work of spirits still trapped in the battery, and a testament to those impenetrable walls. But the door of the keep, the one the Pargrunen filled with essence, it was made to listen, to recognize its masters. Traditional Optapo cultures revolved around language. Words revealed who they were and where they were from. That some liken it to a poem, others to an anthem. In reality, it is more than either. A Kantek is a statement of purpose, a declaration of identity. Each is unique to its stronghold. Thus, to enter a fortress like Durgan's battery, you would stand at the gate and recite its Kantek.
Pues sí,
To learn the Kantek, you must speak with one of the dwarves of Durgan's battery. A shame they are all dead, no? But no doubt their souls live on in one or two of the villagers of Stalwart, like fine wine poured into a cheap pot. But to identify them, that is the first problem. You would need the skills of an animancer. A watcher? Diverus? If this is true, then you could find a sole descendant from Durgan's battery, no question. But the greater difficulty remains. You would have to learn the Kantek from the dormant soul. And to do that, you would have to awaken it. Oh, yes. Whoever you awaken will live with the memories and the personality of a past life. Maybe peacefully, maybe not. That is why you must pay attention to the soul you would awaken. It is a monumental thing to impose on another, but these are the very people who wish to rediscover the White Forge, Verus? An awakening is merely the jolting of a dormant soul into consciousness. When such things happen normally, it is because something has reminded the subject of a past life, often violently so. Thus, to awaken one of the former dwarves of Durgan's battery, you will need to address that soul, preferably by name. But show some care. When you examine these souls, whatever it is you watchers do, you may see images, memories. These are moments of special import. What you see will tell you much about the person, and perhaps the condition in which they awaken them from a traumatic memory, and who knows, maybe they awaken thirsty for blood, or maybe you awaken... Here, this has been tuned to the Aeon of Durgan's battery. Use it near the villagers, and it should tell you if one has a soul old enough to have come from the battery. Who can say? None have yet opened Durgan's battery. But the ones that came before you, I think they got close. You may wish to find them and see what they discovered. Most interesting. They spent many days at the battery door. This looks like something that once belonged there. You have much work ahead of you, as do I.
I'm going with him.
¿Qué?
You? Go to Stalwart? Is this your macabre sense of humor, or has something gone to rust in that beautiful head I crafted?
No one will bother me while I'm
You
with him.
haven't been to
Besides, I
Stalwart
can
in
help him
13
find people in
years.
Stalwart.
And this watcher sees souls. What help could you be? Besides, I have need of you here. You owe whatever remains of your wicked life to me. Quay? No, you don't know what you ask. This woman, the Devil of Karek, she was a notorious murderer, burned people alive all over the region. Besides, she works for me. After all, I am the one who preserved her. She's a valuable assistant, and one I've worked hard to create. I must see payment for her services. I'm sure you understand.
Fine price for a blacksmith striker. Suppose I should be flattered.
And there you have it, a bargain.
Ma ladrone, serio. Mami, te voy a por un rato.
Farewell.
A moment. You are going back to Stalwart, yes? Perhaps you could do me a favor. There is a man in the village named Grinde, the head fisherman. The rest of Stalwart kisses his feet because he fills their stinking blades with speckleback. But I know he's not as virtuous as he seems. That self-righteous meddler engineered my eviction from the village. He turned them all against me. Now I want him to feel the scorn of those mush-brained imbeciles. Humiliate them, of course. Show his neighbors what he truly is. And let him live with the disgrace. He's always been a ripple sponge addict. Just got good at hiding it once his sainted sister died and left him in charge of the fishery. But he keeps a stash in the fishery. Sneaks, I want you to expose him. Go to the fishery after dark when it's empty. Find his ripple sponge and show it to Renengild. Do not answer me now. But when you return to that festering eyesore and smell the stink of fish that hangs in the air, consider what I've said. Your misgivings collect like grime on a doorstep. But think, if this Grinde is a fraud, does he not deserve to be exposed? But be sure to approach the fishery by night, when it's empty. They will give you no end of trouble if they see you stealing during the day. As must the gods themselves.
That's not very helpful.
As you wish. They won't see me coming.
I'll see what I can find.
Ain't that special? Ain't that special?
Pues suele nada. Voy a apagar los ruidos. Apaga, préndela.
Lavaru, be on sea!
Lo apago. Bueno.
As you wish.
I'm right here.
Lava beyond. Rift Uligna. Lava.
Of course.